Are we up? Looks okay. Good, I made it in time today. I made it in time. We're counting down for 5 minutes to see what happens with that little box. It's Sunday here in Tokyo, so not many printers, but Ishikawa-san is coming today, and she sent me an email reminding me, please take my paper out, she said. So I did. It's a holiday here in Asakusa, last day of a 3-day weekend. The streets have been very, very busy out there. That's not always reflected indoors because foreigners don't even know that it's a holiday weekend. So. Hey, good morning, gang. Cameron family parties, they were fun. Good fun. I know there was 8 people here altogether, so we split it 4 and 4. And yeah, treating Cameron as a customer, yeah, whatever, you know. I mean, I have to be polite to him. Like it changes. It was okay, it was good fun. But it was a long day for us, you know, because we had 4 regular parties before that. So it was one long day, 4 regular parties plus Cameron's 2 parties. Today a bit easier. Today there's 3, I think. But that brings me to the bad news here. I have bad news for you. Today's stream is going to be a short stream. We have an early morning party reservation. Came in yesterday afternoon. There's going to be an 8:45 party here. So it means I've got to wrap up around 8:30 today. So I'm sorry. It's just going to be about a 30-minute stream today. Not that that's any awful news, but there it is. And I'm the host for stuff like that. I'm the one who does the early parties when they're here. So So we'll just have a short one today. If you've got anything you need to say, say it soon. The situation with the hot dog stand down the street is still in flux. The people that run that place are clearly aware of what's going on, that they are causing huge disruption to the nearby businesses. So they've tried to start something. They got themselves some posts and plastic chain yesterday. And they tried to make an area out in the street itself, because there's no cars coming. They tried to make an area in the street itself for people to line up. The idea being that they would line up out in the street, waiting for their turn at the counter. Then when their turn came, they would cross the sidewalk and go to the counter. The idea being that the sidewalk would stay bare. Nice theory, it didn't happen, because what happens is the people out in the street who are waiting are okay. But after the other people got their food, they just hang out. They just stand there on the sidewalk eating their hot dogs. So the sidewalk is still totally jammed with people. And they got real confusion between people waiting out on the street and people hanging around on the sidewalk. And you still couldn't get into the next door business, the guy with the fish restaurant next door. So we don't know. We're going to see how it's going to play out. I don't know. Luckily, it doesn't affect me too much at this point. I'm a bit farther down the street. This is all happening, what is it, 3 doors from me? Next to me is the Oyster Shack, then the theater, and then it's the new hot dog place. So it's 3 doors down from me. No, it's the Oyster Shack, then the theater / bar, then the hot dog place. So we'll see how it goes. And I chatted with the head of the Street Merchants Association, a guy who runs the group of shops here. And he said he sent an invitation to that new shop to join the association, and they told him no thanks. They're not going to join. So they don't want to become a member of our of the Merchants Association here. And I get it, because they're a chain store. It's just a chain. The head office could care less about this kind of stuff. So. They're just clearly in it for a quick buck, as long as their thing is popular. Oh, a question, just a second. It's been so long since I hear that sound that I forget what it means. For a second there, I'm surprised. What's that noise from the computer? I should check the bot thing too. It was too late, right? Has the bot worked? I should monitor this. What's going on? Oh, geez, it's gone wrong again, has it? I didn't even notice. I'm sorry. Is it still malfunctioning? No, it stopped. Sorry, I didn't notice. I should have been watching more carefully. Look at that. Who killed it there? How did it happen? Or did it stop automatically? I'm sorry. I'm sitting here chatting, not noticing this. Sorry about that, guys. I should have been a bit more careful. So what did you see? What I got was user hidden, message hidden from blocked user 1,000 times. Now, people don't walk around and eat that stuff. They just gather right outside the shop itself. So right outside the shop, there's this huge cluster of people. It's a 1 full minute. Is that how it works? So it's probably the logic says, if stream is 8:05, it looks for an actual time or something. So it spams at 8:05, then stops and it goes to 8:06. I don't know. Who knows? Okay. And the paper is out. Yes, thank you. Ishika-san, actually, she also sent me an email this morning. Dave, please remember to take my paper out of the freezer. So anyway, it's all there already. Software is hard. Software is hard. Tell me about it. I didn't even think to notice. I trusted it that it would be okay. Yeah. Going to be more interest in our bot than there is in the printmaking, you know. Yeah, actually, she doesn't remind me only once. Sometimes she sends an email in the evening, and then she'll send me another email in the morning when she's on the train. Hey, someone's got a new print. Thank you very much. Thanks for the order for the print. It's good. So, the gift print this year, it's funny. I know it's a little bit down from last year. I know last year's print was a real home run, of course, as we've been mentioning. But what's been happening is then people come to the gift print page, and although the orders for this year's print have been good, what's happening, of course, is that if people aren't so much in love with the new print, on the same page there's a few other prints. So the overall order level is still the same. It's still very high. But it's a bit of a better distribution this year, which has actually helped us a great deal. Last year, a huge percent of the orders for the gift print were for the newest one because it was, such a hit. But this year, the orders have been spread across. I think there's 6 prints on the page, maybe 7, I don't remember. And the orders have been spread around different prints. So actually, it's helped us a great deal. As long-time viewers know, you saw me last year, just day after day after day, I was printing that thing last year. That hasn't happened this year because the staff has been able to keep up to it. So for me this year, the gift print has been much of an easier process. I got a batch just last night. Sue sent another batch, left them on my bench here for checking. So this morning I have to go through these. There's a few places where there's a little bit of paper, a bit cheap. So she pulled out the ones that are okay, and she left me for my bench these ones. Somewhere on most of these there's a small dot of cheaty or something that has to come out. I can't find it. Maybe it's here, I'm not sure. And then we still haven't talked to Harada-san, the guy whose father designed this. He hasn't been here yet. He doesn't even know we're doing this. When he brought us that little folder of paintings, we gave him a sort of a general question. Could we use one of these for a print maybe one day, and maybe pay you a royalty? And he said, oh, that would be great. Really, go ahead and do that. Royalty doesn't matter. So what we're going to do is we did go ahead and use this, and we are going to pay him a royalty. So we'll get a payment form ready when he comes in. It's the least you could do, his father, Harada-san, has been dead for just about long enough to make this free public domain. So we probably have no legal obligation to him. But good grief, the guy's our friend. He's been giving us all this stuff, So of course we'll pay him a royalty on it. When John was here a few days ago, he was poking around. We took him upstairs, and he had a chance then to see the original book, to see the book from Harada-san with these pictures in it, And he flipped through it, and he's like, "Oh my God, you should do all of these," And I don't know, they don't all really suit woodblock prints. Some of them do. There's one really interesting one that could actually become a larger, more spectacular print, and it's got a real interesting idea. It's a sketch, a drawing of what looks like an elderly Chinese gentleman. It's not quite clear. It's sort of generically Asian. It's a guy sitting under a tree, and he's got a sort of a little desk and a bench, and he's reading something. And above the book that he's reading, there's a little flask, and it looks kind of like the flask that I have here above my bench. It looks like a round flask, and you can't tell. This is a really rough sketch painting. And what we think it is, after looking at it carefully, is we think what it is the older guy is reading something outside in the evening, and it's dark, And the flask isn't a light. What it looks like is it looks to be a net bag full of fireflies. And there's kind of a glow that's cast around the scene. We don't see that glow because this is just a simple watercolor sketch. But you could take that idea and run with it and make a beautiful, beautiful woodblock print out of that. The print could be set in the evening. It could be dark all around the outside of the print. It would be the night time. Then in the middle, this guy's face and the bag and the book in front of him would be illuminated by these fireflies. And there's a wonderful, spectacular print waiting to be made from that idea. But the sketch as it stands is nowhere near filled out enough to be able to do that. And none of us here really have that skill, so we have to think about this and maybe try and cooperate with some kind of an artist who could help us fill out the concept into a finished design that we could cut and print. Because there's a spectacular idea living in there somewhere. Oh, different conversations going on here. Is Dave in Japan? Yes, I'm in Asakusa, Tokyo, like it says on the stream here. So, do I have enough material for Echoes of a Carver? Yes, except I'm missing one thing. Time. Again, for those of you who have just joined, reminder, it's going to be a short stream today. I have to leave at around 8:30 or 8:35. There's going to be an early party today. Yesterday afternoon/evening, a reservation came in for a party for this morning for the 8:45 session. So I'll have to leave here around 8:30, 8:35 at the latest. I've got the room set up already. I set up for the morning party. It's ready there, but I have to go and do it. So I'm sorry, it'll be a short stream today. No chance for show and tell, I'm sorry. I have a great show and tell for you. We got a package yesterday morning, but we'll have to save it for tomorrow. A set of Meiji prints, Meiji 12 prints in an album. I hope that's not our party attendees. When Cameron was here last night with his family for their print party, we were chatting about this and that. I hadn't had much chance to spend time with them. They've been here for 10 days or so. It turns out that what they did, they asked Cameron to help them with accommodation for staying. He's got like 6 siblings and some wives and stuff staying here. 8 people altogether. And he found a place for them in Asakusa. So they've been here for a week or so in Asakusa. So Cameron actually has been commuting every day. He comes in from home to Asakusa, except instead of coming here, he's been going to their hotel. And so when he gets back to work next week, he'll just be continuing his normal routine, getting on the train every day and coming to Asakusa. So. Gotta watch my time, okay? But well, okay. People are sometimes early for their parties, you know. And these guys are booked for 8:45, and they could quite possibly be early. Anyway, for the parties, for the stream schedule, today is Sunday here in Asakusa. It's the end of a 3-day long weekend. Tomorrow will be a normal stream, starting at the same time, and I guess I'll be here working on this same block. I don't believe I have any sizing to do. I think I'm caught up with the sizing work for the printers, I think. So I think tomorrow's stream will be a normal stream, starting here at 8 o'clock and going for about 90 minutes. And we should be joined by Cameron. He'll be coming back to duty after having his time off with his family. Okay, 8:30 here. Here we are, it's coming along. This block is going to take a while, you know, you're going to be seeing this block for quite a few days to come. I still haven't finished the area down on the bottom where the paving stones are. Let me pop up the original image here for people that haven't seen it. Another great wave order. Right. There's the image, so you can see there's some places down at the bottom we're going to carve paving stones. Then the temple up at the top. This is the gray shadows. You can see the brick red area in the middle of the temple. This is the darker brick area over the top of those shadows. And then up at the top, this is going to take a while. All these little funky leaves, which you really can't see in the original. So this block's going to take a while. This is I think this is the 4th block or the 5th block. I can't remember. The final block should be really easy because they're just the gradation blocks coming in from the top to the bottom. So I've done my difficult detail work first. We've got somebody's testing a bot here, it seems. Just a sec. Message hidden from blocked user. How do I unblock this user then? Not sure what to do here. I blocked this yesterday. Is it still blocked? How do I unblock this? I'm not quite sure how to do that. He's only blocked for you, not us. Not sure what I can do. If I click the name on the thing, hang on a sec. Okay, there's the dots. It says block the bot. So it must be unblocked for me too now. I think it's open. It seems to be working, right? I think we're okay. Well, until what happens tomorrow, who knows? Okay, I've got to get out of here for a party. I'm sorry about this, guys. Normal streams are 90 minutes long for new users here. Today's stream will just be 30 minutes long. I've got to go and do a print party back in the shop here. I'll be back here, same time, same station, tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock Japanese time to continue carving on this very block. Sorry about this again. I didn't know. I wasn't able to say it yesterday because the reservation just came in last night. I'll be back here again tomorrow morning. Thanks again. Bye-bye. And goodbye to our bot. Thank you for your entertainment value. It's great fun. It's worth it for the laughs. Okay, guys. Bye-bye. See you next time.